Hey guys, this is Drew at the Freedom Boat Club of West Michigan, shooting our series of a water mitigation hazard program to make it safer for you guys to go boating. And if you're not familiar with the waters, to kind of point out some of the areas that are probably not the best place to go, especially because now the water level has dropped so much since last year. Don't forget, where you went last year, you probably won't be able to go to this year without potentially, if it's shallow, without potentially doing damage to your lower unit or your propeller or both. Joined with me here is Taylor, who's going to be our captain here on Spring Lake. We have just entered in Spring Lake from underneath the bridge at the Holiday Inn. So behind Tyler, who's doing our filming, is Spring Lake. Now, one thing to be mindful of, from the Lake Michigan entrance all the way through here, this is all no wake zone, so it's going to take you some time. Spring Lake is a little different. Most navigable bodies of water, there's a no wake zone within 100 feet of the shoreline, and that also includes 100 feet from the end of a dock. Here on Spring Lake, there's an ordinance that's 200 feet from shore or the end of the dock. All right, now we're entering Spring Lake. We have just passed Barrett's on our right-hand side and the Keenan Marina on the left-hand side. Both of them have fuel, both of them have pump-out service. We were at the Keenan Marina for years. They've got a brand new fuel dock as of last year. But both of them do have fuel services on both sides. You know, one of the things that we also want to impress, if we're missing anything and anyone wants to send us a message of a water hazard area that they know of personally, let us know so we can add that material for all boaters to be out here safely. You always want to keep a lookout, especially this time of year on the Grand River and a lot of the lakes. There's a lot of wood floating around that we've noticed, and some really big stuff as well. Now we're just leaving the no wake zone here on Spring Lake. You really need to pay attention to this, and we kindly ask that you do pay attention and respect the no wake zones. Now we are entering the open water area of Spring Lake, but remember, 200 feet inside of shore, that's no wake. Out in the middle of the lake, that's fine. This is a big sailing lake. So you want to make sure you navigate around the sailboats. Remember, you are responsible for your own wake. You don't want to be swamping sailors. Hey, it's a beautiful day. You're on the water. You're on a boat. Take your time, have fun, and enjoy. There's a lot of bayous on this lake too, and entering those, you will see no wake buoys placed across. There's no navigation markers here on Spring Lake. So if you mind the 200-foot rule and be responsible for your wakes, you'll be fine. It's a pretty open water, deep lake. There's not a lot of shallow areas to get yourself in trouble on the main lake itself. Some of the bayous get a little bit more shallow. You always want to check your bimini tops to see if you have bridge clearance. A lot of our boats, we do not permit to go into the bayous. So the bridge levels just change too much, and we have too many different kinds of boats to be mindful of. But nonetheless, here on beautiful Spring Lake in Michigan, and now next we're going to head out to the Grand River and kind of point out some of the things that we know along the Grand River side of this. Now we've just come over or under what everyone calls the M104 bridge next to the Holiday Inn, coming off of Spring Lake, heading onto the Grand River. Now we have two options. We can go right under the US 31 drawbridge, which we all have our own story about that. I'll save that for another video. Or you can go left up the Grand River. We're not going to go out to Grand Haven right now. We just wanted to show the importance of this Red 14, because if you're going into Grand Isle Marina or you're going to the Coastal Zone Marina where the Freedom Boat Club of Grand Haven is, at this point, because it's a split in the river, you're actually going to the right and up. But if you're going up the true Grand River, you're going to keep all these red markers on your right going up the river and the greens on your left. Okay, behind Tyler is the Grand Isle Marina in Grand Haven. Underneath that bridge there is Spring Lake. That's the M104 bridge. You'll notice it looks like it's really easy to cut straight across. We highly don't recommend that. Again, we want you to go down around Red 14 before you go into and under the bridge if you're going to make Spring Lake your destination. We've seen a lot of people get in trouble here. And again, the water level's down. The depth finder gauges that are monitoring your depth on your vessel, okay, transponders is what they are on the back of the boat. So it's always going to measure what you've already gone over. So you don't want to be the test pilot for that, because this river does go up and down quite a bit based on rains, especially early in the season. It's also a river where you want to stay away from the shorelines and really keep an eye out for the logs, especially after a heavy rain, because anything that's resting on the shoreline will wash right into this riverway, and sometimes it's almost been like playing Frogger out here. All right, now we're heading upstream up the Grand River, which if you've never been up here, it's phenomenal. This is a navigable waterway. So you're gonna see, we've just passed green 21, and we have a red none up here. So this is where you're gonna have offsetting channel markers. When you're going upstream off that bigger body of water, so obviously Lake Michigan's way behind us, and where this is considered going upstream, red's on the right, green's on the left, going upstream. One of the devices that we tell a lot of our members of Freedom Boat Club is to get the app Navionics. It's, I don't know, 20 bucks to get the app. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you're in a body of water you're not used to, it kind of pinpoints like your own GPS on your phone, especially if you have some electronics that may be bad or don't have any electronics at all. It's a great way to go up this river, but you don't want to mess too much outside of the channels. There's several no wake zones. They will be marked. Please pay attention to those. It does get real narrow in spots, and you should be respectful of those no wake zones that have been marked by the Coast Guard on their charts. There's an Indian River here off the Grand River, which in any of our vessels, which are outboard day boats, it's still a no-no. That river is super shallow. There's tons of wood, lots of buried deadheads, which are logs under the water, which you cannot see. But if anyone knows of any other spots along the Grand River where there may be a log that needs to be removed, we'll go see if we can pull it out ourselves. As lovers of this waterway, if anything we can do to make it safer, we want to, so just let us know, because we're here to help, because our members use this waterway constantly, as many of the other boaters here in West Michigan, on one of our greatest resources, the water. We want you to have fun out here. We're here to help. We want to educate, because as much as we're about fun, we're nuts about safety. So just remember, educate yourself on what these red and green things are, what a no wake is. You're responsible for your own wake. Have your safety gear on board that's required by law, and so you have just a great day and a lot of fun while you're on the water, because no one expects anything bad to happen when you're out there, but if it does, I always tell people it's not like you can go to your garage and get it. You need to have it on board. So if you have any questions on what the proper safety gear or what the go bag kits that we like, just ask us. We'll tell you. We're happy to share, and may even do that in another segment. But until then, we hope to see you out here, and we'll see you on the water.